just perform some spoken word poetry. Let me just open us up in a word of prayer. Father, just use my words to speak. My words are not even my own. I just pray that you use these words. Your word is over mine. Matthew 6, do not be anxious. Verse 26, therefore I tell you, do not be anxious about your life, what you will eat or what you will drink, nor about your body, what you will put on. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothing? Look at the birds of the air, they neither sow nor reap nor gather into barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not of more value than they? I look out into tonight and I see so many birds that have been broken, so many birds that have once flown but tell themselves they are in a perpetual state of down, depression, anxiety, a perpetual emotional proportional state of blue. See, you were created to fly. You were created to fly. Atticus quoted, haters are birds with clipped wings hopping around a cage, telling the world that the sky isn't that great anyways. And see, I stare out into this crowd and I see birds who are longing to fly. They go to sleep every night within their prayers, wondering if the next morning is when they will even require the faith to fly, because maybe it's next morning. Your comforter, your only comfort at night, head resting on pillowcases tucked in between your sheets as you sleep. Their dreams are the only thing keeping you from waking up. I was taking a psychology of personality class last quarter, and the professor asked everyone to raise their hands to see who was dealing with anxiety or stress. 90% of the class raised their hand. 90% of birds in this room are struggling with down, and yet 100% of birds have always dreamed to fly, and yet you worry. You tell yourself, what good are wings without the faith to fly? And you ask yourself, why am I so broken? Why was I born this way? Why do I feel so blue? The more broken you are only points back to our master of pieces perfecting this masterpiece called you. And if you don't believe this, though you tell yourself you were made to be a fearful warrior, I saw you were created to be a fearless warrior. Get your head off your pillows composed of your own feathers. Get out of your comforters composed of your own down, and realize that you are able to fly. You have the capability to fly if you will just will yourself to. It is something you were inherently born with, these wings, and yet you stare at them before your feet in pieces, wings shredded up. And you stand there in front of your mirror looking at your broken self before you saying back to your face, God, why am I so broken? I don't feel at peace with my body because my mind is so fragmented, it's sharp, it cuts deep. Whenever I look at myself, I feel the opposite of peace. God, why am I like this, God? Why am I like this? Why did you create me so broken? And then you heard his voice. You are broken. You are broken because that means that there are more pieces of you that I can love. And he says, through your pieces, through your feathers, you are made whole. Individual pieces that come together as my masterpiece. You are my masterpiece, a culmination of beauty worth more than the Sistine Chapel, worth more than the mosaic pieces of Rainbow Chapel in front of wooden pews. You are my masterpiece, a masterpiece pointing back to the master of peace. And this master of pieces arranging and regluing, perfecting and refusing to let even one of your feathers fall out of his clutch. and you ask yourself, why am I so broken? Why was I born this way? Why do I feel so blue? The more broken you are only points back to the master of pieces perfecting this masterpiece called you. And if you don't believe this, then get up from your seat and walk up on out of this room, or forever hold your peace, because our very own Father is forever holding your pieces in his hands, all of your feathers in his hands. He is breaking you down. He is lifting you up through every individual piece, through every individual feather. He is building you the wings you always knew you were to have. He didn't give you wings to sit on a tree and wonder if you could ever fly. And you wake up from your dreams and you tell him that you have never flown before. And in fact are afraid of flying, that you are afraid of heights, that you are afraid of falling, and he looks at you with a smile, eyes crinkling, telling you, my child, you aren't given wings to view the world from a tree. And he calls out to you, I know that you are afraid. Peter was afraid when he looked at the winds and the waves, and yet he stepped out. He had faith. I'm just saying, step out in faith off of your branch, spread the wings that I have created you for, and fly with full faith into the clutch of my palm, and I will be the one to lift you up to see the world. There is so much I have in store for you. You don't have to fly in your dreams. Get off your pillows and into my palm and see what I have created you for. Thank you.